All right, we're back from our executive session. Now we'll go into our regular scheduled meeting at 5:15. Councilmember Hornby, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Please stand. Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilmember Hornby. We have everybody here. Where's Councilmember Cuevas? He's here. So
He's here.
He's coming. At this time, we will do citizens' comments. And this is a time period for opportunity for members of the public to address the council on any matter, including items on the agenda. And we do not have a public hearing tonight. So we ask you to limit it for 3 minutes, and then the mic actually shuts off. We don't really respond, so who do we have first to come on up? Come on up.
I believe it's Ray. Ray.
Oh, well, we got somebody, oh, sorry. She raised her hand, I think, first, so that'd be great. Thank you.
My name is Ray Paticus, and I live at 1545 South Mission Street at St. Jude's Landing here in Wenatchee, Washington. And I'm going to talk on the closing of the lighthouse and the impact it is having on us citizens. And I understand the reason behind the closing, but I personally feel for me that there wasn't enough creative problem solving involved, because closing the lighthouse took away the best food bank in town, and one that I'm only talking about myself, but I know a lot of other people use it. And I feel that there should have been some more creative problem solving involved. For example, moving in the Lighthouse Ministries food bank to a different location, or opening up a different food bank altogether to replace the one that you closed, or the city closed. And because we are now having the same amount of people use food banks as in the COVID era, early COVID. And I get food stamps, a lot of people get food stamps, but I only get $124 in food stamps, and that does not go very far, and I have to utilize the food banks. Not that it's a burden to use them, but it is a blessing to have them. But when one is removed, it impacts the community, it impacts me in a negative manner. And I feel there was a grave injustice done to the community by the closing of the Lighthouse Food Bank. And so I would like to see some sort of compensation for the closing of the lighthouse, because I also found out this week that Wenatchee's cost of living is 18.1% over the whole nation, higher than the whole nation. And so there are a lot of us that are on disability income, and that's not a burden either. I've learned to live within those means. It's a challenge, but I've learned how to budget. But yeah, I'm just majorly concerned about my neighbors at St. Jude's and anybody else in the community with single parents, single moms, single dads that need those food banks like I do. And yeah, that's what I'd like to bring to the council's attention. The other matter is that I was involved, and I'd like to give some high praise to the city of Wenatchee, because I was in a serious electric wheelchair accident on Monday, March 8th, and I ran into, with my electric wheelchair, into a parked car that I didn't see because it was nighttime. It was a black car. And the bumper went into my leg all the way to the bone and took a flap of skin. And so the police officers were the first to arrive. I had a Good Samaritan pull over and put direct pressure on. I had the first police officers put the first tourniquet on, and then the firefighters came and put the second tourniquet on. And between the three of them working in tandem and the EMTs that came to take me to the emergency room saved my life. And thanks and gratitude is not enough. And, oh, sorry.
You sent an email, correct? Yeah. I believe the city council received that email, and I will make sure if they didn't, we'll get it to all the city council.
I would just like to be able to thank those involved in saving my life.
Thank you. Forward that on.
Thank you.
Come on up.
I have 3 minutes. I have 2 subjects. One is sales tax and one is city utilities, water, garbage, and sewage.
Your name and- Sorry, sir, your name and address, just for the
My
record.
first name's Jesse Branscombe. I'm from 1218 Princeton.
Thank you, sir.
And I'll just kind of read off this. It's about sales tax, I'll get that later, and water, garbage, and sewage, which they don't do the garbage. But anyway, I'll read it. I've lived in the same house for 32 years. It's went up 356%. And the consumer price index, we had a lot of low inflation there, not now, but we did, of 2%, 3%. So it's about 3% on average in those 32 years. And that would put it at about 140. So it's over 200% above the consumer price index. Okay, my electric bill is a bargain. It hasn't hardly went up at all in 32 years. I think everybody enjoys cheap electricity. We have it here. So no complaints there. The storm drain, they've added that on through the years, or pushed it up a little. It's not real expensive, but it was, when I first started moving here, it was, I think just started out and it was very, very little. And, oh yeah, the city, they have a city tax, utility tax. I think it's, was 15% in '92. And I think it's 19 right now. I'm not sure if those figures are right. So it has went up. And the deal is, I talked to people at the city, water's not too bad, but when you water your lawn, it gets expensive. And and what I've brought is, they said, well, we have to recycle this water from toilets and showers and all that. I understand that. Well, what about the water that's hitting the ground that is not recycled? They seem like they could give people a break. And then one more subject. The sales taxes, the state's getting ridiculous. Because I bought a new pickup in '86, the sales tax was 6%. I thought, God, that's kind of high. Well, we're pushing 9% now. It doesn't seem like the roads or anything's no better when they were 6%. And I think King County's like 10%. So that pretty well covers it. And I don't know if you can give me any information why.
What I can do for you, sir, we got your name and address, and if you wouldn't mind giving your email over.
I don't have email.
Okay, we'll take your name and address, we have it for the record, and we'll ask somebody from the utility to send you some explanations.
Yeah.
That's the best we have for
How
tonight.
about the sales tax? Can you comment on that?
Yeah. No, not at this time,
Okay.
so, yeah.
I mean, it's just like, the service is no better, and we do have Link, which is a good service, that's 0.6, so that's excellent service. But, and then you see a TV on TV, oh, we need a 0.2, a 0.1. Man, what did you do 30 years ago at 6%, you know? So, that's all I have to say.
All right, thank you, sir.
So, how do I do that?
I'm gonna get a letter, we'll get a letter out to you on it, since you don't have an email. Sure, yep,
Because I usually get mine
okay.
4250.
All right, who's next, please?
Hi, how's it going? My name is Tara Shuttleworth. I live at 119 South Okanagan, the Burke Hill Apartments. And I had the pleasure to go to the Possibilities Tour today and was really excited to see about the development that's coming our way. We're putting $5.6 billion into our city, which to me, most of those projects I'm really excited about. But I just want to bring it to the attention of our council that as our city grows, we have to be mindful about the fact that our homeless population is growing. I right now am finding myself just on a personal level working with the street kids around here. And so I have gone down to Catholic Charities a couple times to make sure they're getting resources, getting them into Skill Source if they want the help, you know. And Catholic Charities told me that within the valley alone, we have 500 displaced teens. So not maybe all of them are on the street, but they're couch surfing, they don't have a home. And I just recently read an article that within our country, 50% of our homeless population is coming from foster care. So they grow up with no foundation, they turn 18, and we kind of like smack them on their bums and say, now you're adults, but they had no foundation. They have no structure whatsoever. So what do? They're on the street, they're on drugs, they're creating crimes. And so I just want to bring it to the attention of this innovative city that there might be a need for, as we grow, to think about the opportunity to put in some type of a shelter for displaced teens where we can get programming going for them, teaching them about independent lifestyles, just so we have a thriving group of young adults turning into healthy adults for our city. I did have a meeting with Dory Foster from YMCA about maybe turning the old YMCA into this shelter, and she was like, good idea, but the new owner's Michael. I don't know what Michael's last name is. I'm pretty sure some of you do. But it seemed today she said something along the lines of YMCA. The old YMCA just got sold to somebody. Not quite sure, but I do think this idea of some type of displaced youth shelter in Wenatchee, it seems we've got some money coming in. It seems like Microsoft is really wanting to give back to our community as they build these data centers. There might be opportunity here, and I think it would be one of the most innovative things that a city could do in our country is really take care of these displaced youth. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for coming in. Who's next? Seeing none, we'll close the comment period and go to our consent items.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion for the city council to approve agenda vouchers and minutes from previous meetings to accept the work performed by contractor SCI Industrial Services LLC for the Jefferson Reservoir Improvement Project, city project number 2306, and authorize the city administrator to sign final contract vouchers to accept the work performed by contractor Hearst Construction LLC for the old station Force Main Emergency Repair Project, city project number 2506, and authorize city administrator to sign the final contract voucher and to accept the work performed by contractor J&K Earthworks LLC on the Howley Street Outflow Emergency Repair Project, city project number 2508, and authorize city administrator's signature on final contract vouchers.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hornby and second by Councilmember Atkinson for City Council to approve the agenda vouchers and minutes from previous meetings, to accept the work performed by the contract SCI Industrial Services Limited Liability Corporation for the Jefferson Reservoir Improvement Project, city project number 2306, and authorize the city administrator to sign the final contract voucher to accept the work performed by the contractor Hearst Construction Limited Liability Corporation for the Old Station Force Main Emergency Repair Project, city project number 2506, and authorize the city administrator to sign the final contract voucher and to accept the work performed by the contractor J&K Earthworks LLC for the Haley Street Outfall Emergency Repair Project, city project number 2508, and authorize city administrator to sign a final contract voucher. Any discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. All right, we have a couple presentations tonight. Tom, you're up, Common Ground. I see the construction coming. It's kind of fun to watch it.
Oh, it's pretty exciting to see things moving along. Thank you so much, and good evening, Mayor Poyer and council members. It is great to have an opportunity to just be here with you. My name is Tom Neese. I'm the Executive Director of Common Ground Community Housing Trust, and I'm excited to just share how your support has helped us get to now. It is so critical for community support to build something lasting in our valley, and you have truly helped us to be able to get there. First, I wanted, again, to begin with gratitude. The city of Wenatchee has believed in Common Ground from the beginning. You stepped in and helped us with financially as an organization to be able to get ourselves started. As you well know, any organization needs financial footing to be able to exist. And some of the hardest dollars to earn as a nonprofit are the dollars that you earn to exist. Project dollars are easier to come by. They're not easy to come by, but they are easier to come by than your dollars to be able to exist. And we are truly grateful for the help that you have given us to not only establish ourselves, but increase capacity and to develop ourselves as a meaningful concern and be able to get launched on our first project and make this vision that we've had together a reality. And on behalf of the families that will be gratefully receiving homes within a year or so, I want to extend a thank you to you for helping us to be able to do that. So Common Ground really at our core and very simply is a community-led development of individually owned homes on community-owned land. At Common Ground, we simply steward this process. We balance the interest of homeowners and our community, and that means when a home is built on the land that we hold, it stays affordable not just for the first home buyer, but it stays affordable forever. The dollars that are put into making that affordable for the first home buyer stay in that home forever. And I think that is money well spent for a community to value that kind of investment. And so we work to bring those dollars in to fill that affordability gap on the front end. And so that ensures that we have a long-standing affordable housing inventory forever in this community. So where are we right now? The Crail Cottages project is underway. We acquired this property in April of 2023. We had our official groundbreaking ceremony on July 16th. I think it's important to point out that the two heavy equipment operators on the right-hand side of your picture there do not have champagne glasses. According to OSHA standards, we made sure that the shovel operators did not have those. And so we are very grateful to have Mayor Poyer and Commissioner Overbay that joined us and Keith Gaynor. This came together again in the cooperative spirit of a community that's making this thing happen. And we have officially broken ground. And this is what the finished product is going to look like when we are done. There's going to be 8 homes. We acquired this, by the way, we acquired this from an estate. And the family whose parents passed away sold this to us at a discount. And these are the kind of opportunities that we're looking for. And I just ask you to have your heads on a swivel. If you know of somebody that might have a piece of property that would be willing to vacate that property. This had a house on it. The house was built in 1925, and we were able to take that house down, and we're replacing it with 8 homes that are going to be affordable for our workforce in our community. And so I want to show you a couple of pictures of where we are today. If you haven't taken a look at this for a while, that center picture was taken 2 days ago. It truly looks transformational. It's amazing to see the change that has taken place. This is directly adjacent to Sangster Motors on 9th Street. And I encourage you to take a drive by it because it is really amazing the work that has taken place. Plumbers are expected to be in there within a couple of weeks. And we are very excited to be able to deliver these homes next year. The homes are going to be 970 square feet, all of them. 4 of them are going to be 1 bedroom, 4 of them are going to be 2 bedroom. The homes are designed for long-term affordability through the CLT model. So the home buyer is going to buy the improvement. Common Ground is going to maintain the ownership in the land. And there's a master ground lease that connects the ownership interest of the home buyer and Common Ground so that it is deed restricted. It's going to stay permanently affordable. We've already got local families that are expressing interest. We have not opened up our application period yet. We anticipate there going to be a lot of families that are interested in these homes, and we're going to do a lottery process for making these homes, deciding and choosing who the homes are going to be available to. I can talk more detail about that. If you want to catch me offline, we can talk about that lottery process. But our plan is to have the homes and occupancy permits by the 3rd quarter of 2026. We all know the problem. The problem is that our wages have not kept up with housing prices. We know that one of the problems is that we now have communities in our area that are challenged by coming up with affordably planning for and accommodating for housing in our communities. And so our consolidated plans are working toward that. Common Ground actually has written into our charter that we want to be a partner with local jurisdictions to help fulfill the mandate that you have to deliver this type of work. That's not our mandate, but it is your mandate. And we want to be a partner with you in doing that. And you have been a great partner with us to help us get to now. And so we are truly grateful for that. Every dollar that comes into Common Ground stretches and helps the homes that we build stay affordable. Your city's support helps us to attract additional grants. When we can go to a grantor and say the local jurisdiction is behind Common Ground and is supporting Common Ground and our efforts in this community, you help us attract additional monies to bring into this project. And so we are grateful for that happening. So we continue to invite the city of Wenatchee to continue its partnership with Common Ground. As we look forward, we know that Crail Cottages is just at our beginning. This is our first project. And we are in the process of looking for additional properties to be our next project. And we're looking forward to working with you on what that project may be and how we can partner with you to create the next project that will be mutually beneficial to you in your efforts to meet your mandate and to be able to meet the needs of this community that we all live in. We long to have a place to live that everybody has an opportunity to call home and to be able to live where people work and play. And that's what our desire is. So in conclusion, I just want to say on behalf of Common Ground, thank you again for standing with us. Your support in helping us get to now has been amazing, and we are truly grateful for that support. And we look forward to what we are going to create as we move forward. So thank you for standing with us. Thank you for standing with them, the families that are in desperate need of housing in our community. And thank you for participating with us to make Wenatchee affordable for life. So thank you for the opportunity to stand before you and express that.
It's really, we as a city should be thanking organizations like you that are willing to figure out how to help us with our issues. And it's not like it goes away. It's just the continuing. So if anything, we should be thanking you that you allow us to participate, and we're excited about this. So we need more of this, and I know that the goal is the land, to figure out your next land. I know that's your goal
Yeah.
so you can continue on. But thank you, Tom.
Yeah,
very
thank you.
much. Any questions for Tom before he leaves?
No, I just want to thank you. Can I speak? I drive by there every day, and I notice from groundbreaking to second story right now, it's amazing. I'm really thankful that you're contributing to our community like this. Thank you, because you are making a big difference. You are somebody here, and I do appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
I am happy to meet offline with any of you to talk about what we can do. And again, keep your head on a swivel for opportunities that come your way. Yeah, Travis?
I've been sitting on a group looking at affordable housing. A lot of the regulations that come down from the state, we don't have a say in those. We just have to implement them. But I keep saying it, and you are helping reinforce that we can't solve this problem. Anything that a city does is going to cost more money. That's just how it works. But partnering with nonprofits, partnering with the private sector is how we can make a dent in this problem. So thanks for your effort.
Yeah. Thank you. And this community is behind this, and they want to be behind this. We were able to pull together almost $1 million in community support to be able to go out and get our construction loan that we needed to pull this together, of community investment, to be able to do this. And we do have a community, a generous community, that understands and sees the challenge that we face. And so I 100% agree with that. It's going to take all of us. So thank you for that.
Thanks for coming, Tom.
Okay, thank you.
Well, it's not snowing outside, but we have Mission Ridge. We got a presentation. Two of you. All right.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, Tom, thank you. Common Ground, I love that. I need to come to more council meetings for inspiration and good things. That's what happens every time here, I take it?
Every time.
Okay.
Always.
Always positive.
No pressure on you.
Yeah, we're bringing nothing but positive cheer as well. Normally, I do take an hour or so for this presentation, and so I'm hoping that's okay. The 10 minutes you've given me is just a guideline. We're actually going to kind of cruise through our slide deck because I think most of you are probably pretty familiar with our project. It's been around for a while. I've been standing in front of you before with the same kind of pitch in the past. We are here to request your support for this project as we're in the draft environmental impact stage public comment period right now, and the city has in the past supported the project in public comment. So we want to show this to you really quickly, refresh your memory, and then be open for questions, because I think there may be some questions around this. So we'll cruise through this somewhat quickly. This is a little bit of a slide about the history of Mission Ridge. You know, Mission has been an important part of this community for over 50 years, adding quite a bit of value to our outdoor recreation space and quality of life. It's always been in the founding vision of this resort to have a village and on-site accommodations and expansion. That's true from the 60s when the resort began. Our goals with this expansion are to correct some and add capacity in some areas that are really missions really struggled with in capacity. We can only park around 700 to 800 cars a day at the mountain. We have demand that far exceeds that. So in order to maintain a quality experience and be able to give guests a time where they can actually ski and not just stand in line, we have to restrict ticket sales at this time, which then results in people not being able to come, which then makes me sad. So we need to make this bigger, better facility for all of Wenatchee. So parking, beginner terrain, non-alpine ski activities such as tubing, snowshoeing, and Nordic skiing, those kind of activities are all incorporated into our plan, as well as four-season and summer. In 2016, Larry Scrivenage, the owner of Mission Ridge, bought about 800 acres adjacent to the resort. So that's what kind of precipitated this project. This project has been proposed, as I said, in the history 2 times in the past, back in the 80s and in the 90s. And in the 80s, it was actually approved with an approved environmental impact statement. But some situations with the main investors at that time led to it kind of dissolving and falling apart and never occurring. So now we're kind of re-proposing and revisioning that project again. And we've been working on this, like I said, for the last 9 years. But the goals are to address all of these things. But primarily the resort operations is what I'm excited about, and I know our skiers are too. So Mission, as it sits now, is 2,000 acres of special use permit that we operate on a mixture of government lands. Forest Service is about 50%. Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife is about 40%, and then DNR has a small sliver. So we pay lease fees to all of those agencies for the existing resort, and we operate on a special use permit that comes with a lot of different restrictions, things we can do and cannot do. Summer use is one of the most prevalent questions I've received in my tenure at Mission Ridge, and we can't do that because of our lease. So we are restricted from summer operations on the mountain. So Matt, the new GM at Mission, has done done a really good thing this summer with the restaurant up there running, and it's been very popular this summer. So we know that there's quite a bit of demand. The expansion area is just adjacent. You can see in the bottom left of this image where that would be. That is not been built yet, obviously. We're in that draft environmental impact statement point of time right now. This is a little bit of a zoom in on the village. There will be 3 additional aerial tramways, including also one that brings us up from the parking lot to the village. So there's new chairlifts, new ski terrain. Like I said, this is on the private property section, so in the summer there would be mountain biking and hiking and other summer activities. So real quick again, it's a beautiful place. This picture kind of captures all 4 seasons. We're about to go into the larch season where the larch turn yellow, and so we have a festival upcoming in the end of October here. We just released an economic impact study, and we brought some copies. I think Matt just passed those out to you. This is a project that there is some media right now, and so there are some naysayers and some critics. And one of the things is that's being floated out there is why would the public pay? Why would taxpayers pay for this project? And to be honest, that's not going to happen. The developer pays for the project, and so development pays for development, and so whether it's extending power and water or improving roads, it's on us. So we pay for those things, and on top of that, the benefit to Chelan County in our report is about $7 million a year in just property taxes coming back to the county. I think that would be very helpful right now with the budget that we're all facing, and so we want to see this benefit come to full fruition. So there's quite a bit here in the slide deck, and it's here for you, as well as in the economic report about job creation, economic impact, and tax base growth. Again, so I'm kind of cruising through this to reserve a little time for for questions. This is just a property tax forecast that shows over the 20 years of the build cycle. This is a 20-year build out. So it's 5 phases, many homes, but it delivers an estimated tax return of $209 million in that 10 year or 20 years. We've been very committed to being transparent and out in the public and open and honest with everything. We've hosted many town halls and open houses. We started this whole process with a stakeholder group in the beginning of diverse viewpoints, and have really attempted to form the best for the most for the longest type of a project. We're very excited to be in this draft environmental impact statement comment period right now, and this is the one other question I wanted to address is the wildfire question. We have when we first began this process, we knew that wildfire would be a big issue. And this is before most of the fires that we've had recently have been the mega fires nearby, and unfortunately the one we're seeing effects from this week. We've been in the wildfire business and the ski business forever. So I like to say we've been fighting wildfires before it was cool. But we've been this has been something that's been high on our agenda and high on our radar because we live in the woods, we work in the woods, and it's always been a hazard. And you can't remove that hazard entirely unless you just don't go there. So we choose to mitigate these hazards and make efforts to mitigate the risk. So our EIS and our master plan resort application to the county included a fire protection engineer's fire protection plan that exceeds by far state, county, and local regulations for fire safety. We have a ton of different mitigation pieces that are put in. Most prominent would probably be the fact that we were planning to annex into the Chelan County Fire District, and then Mission Ridge donating the land, paying for the construction and all of the apparatus of a fire station, as well as guaranteeing the staffing. So that's all out of pocket of the owner of Mission Ridge as part of this project and part of the mitigation package. That's one big dollar thing. One of the cooler things that we're doing with the fire is remote fire detection. So installing remote flame detection and camera detection that can see fires before they get close. Thirdly, implementing our snowmaking system. And with this new expansion area, all of the runs will be covered in snowmaking. So we have underground piping and lake reservoirs to draw from for wildfire fighting. Tested it and proven. We did it my first year at Mission in 2012 when the Wenatchee complex and the Table Mountain complex merged and burned part of Mission Peak inside the ski area boundary. Deploying our snowmaking system is like a giant exterior sprinkler system. And Holden Village, the fire marshal up there, has been doing this for quite some time, and just raising the relative humidity of the space by doing this prevents the fires from coming in as well. So we have a ton of different, those are just a couple of pieces of the mitigation package on wildfire that we can highlight and discuss further, as well as how we've addressed secondary access. And I know this is a challenging one. We would love to have a good secondary road out of the property. Unfortunately, it's just not reasonable, practical, or possible due to a variety of reasons, mostly the fact that we're at the top of the mountain. And I like to tell everybody, virtually every ski area, village, or community is at the top of a mountain, right? And virtually none of them have secondary access because of that fact. It just becomes very, very challenging to pull off. So we have to find mitigation efforts that are other mitigation and find other ways to guarantee safety and take care of our community. And the final piece on this is just that, you know, we are the resort operators. We're not developers. We're not land developers. We're not subdivision guys. And as soon as this project is going and as soon as it's done, we're always linked to it because we're connected there, right? So the management and the mitigation needs to happen for the business's own security and safety long term as well. And frankly, I hope to one day have a house up there and retire and enjoy a nice little view. But that's the nuts and bolts of there's a little bit more. I mean, it's been 9 years. We've done 26 studies. There's been very little interaction with the city of Wenatchee on most of this other than on traffic. So with the Public Works Department, we've worked pretty extensively in our EIS on traffic improvements. Quick timeline of the project and then a thank you and questions. I do better with questions. I know you let Matt talk.
And as I've got the chance to meet people around town, the part that is nearest and dearest to my heart is the way this community supports Mission Ridge and the Mission Ridge supports the community. So it's not lost on me that the traditions, the history, and all the parts of this. So this expansion could and can will look very different. And what we don't want to change is the culture, the heart, and the soul that I am choosing to be here in this role at this resort to make sure that persists and that we have that and we can honor what has been and what it can be in the future for sustainability. And so just want to make sure that the memories that we've created over the time don't need to diminish and that we can create more of them and do that the way that we get to shape our future, because change is happening and we'd like to be prepared for it.
So we met with Public Works and with, how many pages is it, 1,600? I don't know how many, too many. And anyway, so it was
almost
a
3,000 pages of the
Yeah,
draft
so
areas, yeah.
there's an open comment period, and then we're mostly traffic impact analysis is what we're mostly concerned about. And everything, and really the heart and soul of this. I'm in support of drafting a letter of support for this. And I definitely want to make sure we have questions, comments, that would be great. But Tom, when are we going to get back to, I think Emma's working on it, right? So we have, how long to get that back to them? About a month left,
The
okay.
21st,
Okay, so we're kind of going through that, because, how much traffic's gonna come down and face it. But I know you guys are addressed it,
Yep.
and I know you worked with the city for the last 9 years
Yes.
regarding this. So, anyway, so I just want to let the city council know that we've been talking, and it's, you guys are open book, and that's, and the owner's an open book, and he's doing this for heart and soul, and thank goodness he has a lot of money to be able to put the infrastructure up there, because that's not how people build stuff. They want the infrastructure there first before anybody comes in.
Yeah, it's
But
a
you guys
big challenge.
You guys are paying that cost. So I'll open it up for anybody here on the city council.
I just want to make a quick comment. Number one, my nature place is a top tier two. I don't ski anymore because I've had 2 knee replacements, but I'm hoping to get back into it. But what I will tell you is I feel this is going to be really, really good for the community. I've had a lot of hoteliers tell me that they're very concerned that it's going to take away winter business from this. And quite frankly, you're what supports this community in the winter months. We need you very badly. But I don't see it that way. I think this is going to just increase the demand, and it will overflow into the community as well. So I'm totally in support of this, and thank you for what you're doing. It is so beautiful. Matt, that restaurant it is so good. What a great atmosphere and great food, great service.
Team's phenomenal. Thank you for that.
I'll echo that. I think, Mission Ridge is such a huge piece of this community. It's such a huge piece of the community's heart. Like you mentioned, there's, many of us have grown up and have long-term memories from Mission Ridge. What excites me most about the expansion is the ability to expand upon that and to create further memories. For those of us who don't ski, we still go up and enjoy the restaurant, and I will sit in the lodge all day. I'm happy to do that. But I'm excited for what it will allow the community to enjoy. It's just an added layer of enjoyment and memories to be made. I've seen the presentation a couple of times, along with the owner presenting, and I'm always so impressed. It's always very thoughtful. You can tell that there's a lot of care and passion for the community every time I hear about this. So I just thank you. You guys, it's a huge financial impact to our local economy, our hotels, our restaurants, our downtown.
It's been a pleasure this summer getting to talk to people at the restaurant, and the number of people that say, well, we don't ski or snowboard, so we don't have a reason to come up here
Yeah, we
until
do.
now. And they came up and had a great experience, and they've already planned to come back or multiple
Yeah.
times. And so expanding the people that get to reach out into our recreation areas, much less get into the mountain hill staycation, has been a pleasure of mine to experience.
Well, I just thank you. Thank you, guys. Very, very thoughtful presentation always. And thank you for your hard work.
Thanks, guys. And even though I do downhill ski. I am quite interested in when the Nordic
Yes.
fits into the phasing. Is that early or late?
Well, that's one of the highest demand things. Yeah, for sure. We get a ton of questions about that. There's a lot of interest in Nordic and in the Wenatchee Valley.
You'd wonder if I was alive, right, if I didn't ask you that question.
Correct. Yeah.
So
Are
thank
you
you.
awake? Yeah, are you
Yeah.
there?
Ability to offer snow tubing, snow play in the Nordic as well, much less a multi-generational experience in the base area, is something that is just really exciting that we have untapped potential for.
And we really feel like our biggest competitor is video games and basketball coaches. So, like it's not Stevens Pass or some other ski area. It's sedentary lifestyle, right? And so like our goal and our challenge is to keep people active and engaged with the outdoors.
Well, yeah, I appreciate especially the sentiment, the part about like keeping the heart, the soul of it, because I grown up in Wenatchee. I rode that link bus up, 3-Oak Club, keeping it, I guess with all the expansion, I'd hope accessibility gets expanded as well.
Yeah.
So like you're saying, kind of the opposite of video games, right? But to make it accessible, to have a community, maybe, the public transportation expands and mitigate some of the worries of the hotels, and we just kind of come more together and have a, place. And seasonal, all 4 seasons, the jobs, not just, in the winter, but people can find work all year round up there. It'd be great. But yeah, I like the part about keeping it Wenatchee, but just bigger and better. So.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are saying it right there. Thank you. I want to say thank you for being patient. Thank you for going through all the hoops. It's been 9 years. I won't get too pointed, but thank you for scratching the itch of my largest addiction, which is snow skiing. So also this expansion, I'm teaching my niece, bringing another generation up. Having the expansion and separation of skiers, it's no fun to be blown by at 70 miles an hour by an adult when you have a 7-year-old in front of you. So the separation is huge of the user groups. I'm excited for that. Also, the economic piece will benefit everybody. So thanks for all your effort. Thanks for being patient.
Yeah, and pass along our thanks to Larry too for a commitment that I think we take for granted too often, but yeah, he has made it possible for Mission Ridge to be here. So.
One more thing is keeping it local. That's huge. We have that local feel. We don't have Wall Street coming in and doing this and pushing themselves around. You guys have thought about everything and how it impacts our community, and that's amazing.
We are the only community in the state that has a ski resort at their back door.
No, yeah, we've emphasized with Rails and Ales and bringing other events to town that this is the ski town that Washington,
Yeah.
it's the only ski town that Washington legitimately has, and we need to embrace that and lean into it for sure. Yeah.
Well, Josh and Matt, we'll get a letter of support that will include the city council, and then we'll keep working on the impact study to make sure and get comments back for you on that. So.
Thank you, and we are always available too if there's questions that arise or anything, concerns or anything you need. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for taking the
Thank
time.
you.
Emma, are you coming by yourself or are you bringing a friend?
Well, Jessica's here for emotional support, I guess.
So another good one, Emma, like as exciting, like one more?
I think I need to learn how to ski.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
was exciting.
The lodge is great. You can just join me in the
It's
Or I can teach
amazing.
my child how to ski and sit in the lodge.
Ride the bus up there.
Are you doing this? Okay. Good evening. My name is Emma Honeycutt. I'm the Assistant City Engineer here at the City of Wenatchee. I'm here to give you an update on the Community Safety Action Plan work that we've been doing in engineering, along with our team members, of which Charlie Atkinson is a member of our team, as well as the Wenatchee School District and members of the police department. So I'll start kind of with just sort of like a background. In 2020, 2024, we received a grant from the Washington Traffic Safety Commission to do this work, to put a community safety action plan together. We didn't apply for the grant. We were nominated by Matthew Enders, who works for the Washington State Department of Transportation and their local programs division. He's the technical services manager. Matt works with about 350 different cities and towns across the city, and he nominated 5 statewide to do this work, and we were one of the 5. And so I think that's kind of, over the years, we've proven kind of like a track record of being willing to try new things, such as like buffered bike lanes and some safety components such as that, and then also taking on these bigger mega projects like Confluence Parkway. And through the work of Jake's group and Ryan's group, we deliver them consistently, on time, and on budget. And so I think we've gotten a pretty decent reputation statewide, which is why we were chosen for this work. And so that's kind of a good thing for us, because we get to capitalize on sort of some newer ways of thinking and some outside of the box ways to look at safety. So like I said, this plan is developing a framework for reducing fatal and serious injury crashes in the city. It's a partnership between City Council, the Police Department, engineering, and the school district. It lasts for 2 years, and the grand total of the grant is about $108,000. Okay, so this is kind of just the wagon wheel that demonstrates the safe system approach. The safe system approach is a framework that was developed by the feds in the early 2000s and has been refined over the years. The state of Washington has 6 areas of the safe system approach, and the approach itself is dependent on 6 kind of core principles that we'll walk through in the future slides. So the first principle is that deaths and serious injuries are unacceptable. Unintentional injuries are the leading cause of death among Americans aged 0 to 45. I was in a training earlier this year where the first thing the trainer asked the group was, what is your goal in your family for safety this year? And the goal is generally no deaths, no fatalities, no serious injuries. And so, I mean, I know citywide we have competing interests and competing uses for money and financial investments. And so it's in the context of target 0 and 0 deaths and serious injuries. That's, of course, one of the core principles of the safe system approach is that we don't shoot for 1, we don't shoot for 10, we shoot for 0. The second core principle is that humans make mistakes. This one's kind of obvious, but we have to keep in mind that humans are fallible and imperfect. And so as traffic engineers, if we're designing infrastructure, we can't sit in a space where if everyone just drove perfectly all the time, every day, then everything would be fine. We have to acknowledge that people are imperfect and that doesn't necessarily happen. And there's a framework that we can put in place to protect drivers in that regard. So the third core principle, the safe system approach, is that humans are vulnerable. There's a physical limit to how much impact a human can take in a crash and survive and be healthy. This diagram kind of shows the relationship between car crashes with pedestrians and the speed of the vehicle and what that looks like in the outcome. On the left, you see that if you are walking and you get hit by a car that's going 20 miles per hour or less, there's a 10% chance of death or severe injury. If the vehicle is traveling at 30 miles per hour, there's a 50% chance that the pedestrian will die or be severely injured. And then when you go up to 40 miles per hour, that probability jumps up to 90% that a pedestrian will be severely injured or killed in a crash. And so it's not a linear progression. It goes up greatly with every 5-10 miles per hour. So the fourth principle of the safe system approach is that responsibility is shared. I will skip the video because I was not successful at embedding it into my slideshow, but this is a video that the New Zealand Department of Transport put together that shows a family driving, they get in a car crash, they survive the car crash, and that they demonstrate that their survival is a result of the driver, the car itself. It's also a result of the construction workers that installed the guardrail. It's a result of the driver's instructors that taught the driver's ed. It's a result of the safety inspections of the cars and the seatbelts. It's a result of everybody in the community and not just the drivers. Another kind of way to look at this is, I mean, we have a lot of driveways in town and we have a lot of kiddos that ride bikes, right? So you ride your bike you have your son or your daughter riding a bike on a sidewalk, and we've got a lot of people backing out of their driveways. And I think if you're the driver, you think, oh, they should not do that, they should yield to me. But the reality is, it really is a shared experience, and we're all responsible and we're all culpable for the safety of our community. And then the fifth principle is that safety is proactive. So historically, in terms of safety planning, agencies will experience the crash, go to the location of the crash, and install a countermeasure for that crash where it happened. Over the past few years, we've put a bunch of work into being a little bit more proactive about how we plan for countermeasures. These are some examples of the plans we've been putting together. And essentially the idea is that the local road safety plan, for example, we look citywide systematically at our entire city, at the crashes that happen, and the contributing factors for those crashes in terms of the built environment, if it was a wide road, if it was no sidewalk or sidewalk. We identify the most common physical characteristics of crash sites, and then we look holistically at the city where those conditions exist and chase after grant funding to install countermeasures to what's missing. So it's not necessarily location specific where something's happened. It's more of a systematic approach to look at those contributing factors and try to mitigate those before a crash happens. And then the last principle for the safe system approach is that redundancy is crucial. And this is based on the Swiss cheese model, which I learned about this summer as well, which basically follows the principle that if you have each of the safety sectors of the safe system approach layered together, and if for whatever reason one fails, at some point one will not fail, and then you will be safe. And so if there's a loophole where for whatever reason the road user is not safe, the vehicle isn't safe, and the speed isn't safe, but the road is safe, then that driver and that crash will be prevented and they'll be safe. And so if you have that redundancy where you have everything layered one on top of each other, then the system is safer as a whole and the community is safer as a whole. Nope. Okay, so we're back to the wagon wheel. So those 6 principles are the outer rung of the wagon wheel. So those are just kind of the tenets and the foundations of what the safe system approach is based on. The 6 sectors inside of the wagon wheel are the 6 areas within the community and within our capital infrastructure planning that we target. They're kind of just like the target areas that we work on to implement the safe system approach. And we'll go through those pretty quickly because I think this is a review for most of you. So safe users, in order to improve the safety of safe road users, examples of way to boost this safety include bicycle helmets, driver's education, enforcement of distracted driving laws, and accountability for driver behavior. And then in terms of pedestrian users, situational awareness, that sort of head on a swivel thing, and eye contact with other modes can boost safety for road users. Safer land use deals with just sort of the land use component and the zoning component of land adjacent to public rights of way. Historically, those decisions have been sort of made in silos. So you make public right of way decisions and then concurrent to that, but not necessarily integrated with it, is land use zoning, planning, allowing just density and residential and schools. An example of where this does not work is if you have a city that puts in a 4-lane roadway, but the land use allows for some dense residential or churches and schools within that area, then all of a sudden you have a high-speed, high-use highway with kiddos walking across the street and just different modes competing. And so, like we're currently doing with our comp plan update, the Community Development Department and Public Works are working close together on the zoning updates as well as the updates of our transportation element so that those decisions don't happen in silos. We've been pretty good at that historically and certainly moving forward. The next area is safer vehicles. It's come a long way over the years. Originally, safer vehicles examples were, seat belts and spare tires and vehicle inspections and airbags. Now moving into smarter autonomous cars, we have lane departure warning systems and emergency braking. And then there are some vehicles and some companies that require their fleets to have like speed regulators on their engines so that they can't speed. The fourth segment is safer speeds. Strategies to implement safer speeds are lower speed limits, obviously, speed enforcement, both live speed enforcement with police officers and automated enforcement with cameras, traffic calming infrastructure, and then school zones, and also roundabouts are a way that safer speeds are implemented because when you have a conflict point at a roundabout, you have to slow down to go through the roundabout as opposed to a signalized intersection where theoretically a car could just blow through at 40 miles per hour. You don't have to slow down to 25. An example of safer roads in terms of implementing that with how we do business is implementing physical barriers between different modes of transportation, for example, pedestrian buffers and bike lane buffers, and then limiting movement such as left turns on main roadways and no right on reds where you have a competing movement, as well as like a leading pedestrian interval like we have at 9th and Mission by 9th and Chelan by Confluence. And then the last area for the safe system approach is post-crash care. This is one that historically hasn't really been brought into the conversation. So as part of the work that we're doing with this plan, we're bringing it into the conversation, including identifying and acknowledging any kind of barriers within the medical system, and then also support for like a robust crash investigation process. Some agencies utilize fatality reviews for all of their fatal collisions. And then the criminal justice system and also, and also accountability for driver behavior. So all of this to say, this is sort of just like a culture shift of how agencies historically have dealt with traffic safety versus kind of where we're headed. Instead of preventing all crashes, the intent with this system is to prevent fatal and serious crashes. And sometimes there is a trade-off where a quantity of crashes will go up, but because of the angles or because of the speeds, the seriousness will go down. And then it's a shift from reactive to proactive in terms of countermeasure installations. One of the bigger paradigm shifts is instead of blaming road users and instead of blaming the kid riding the bike or somebody driving a car, we acknowledge that we have a shared responsibility. We live in community, and that's the functional way to handle it. Improving driver behavior is, the shift towards operating for human error is kind of integrated in the acknowledgement that humans are imperfect and they will make mistakes. And then also integrated in the safe system is reducing the system kinetic energy, which basically means slow speeds as much as you can where you can. So just kind of a little summary of what we've been up to this summer. The group, the police department, Charlie Atkinson, the school district, Jake and myself have been to a couple conferences. We went to Spokane to the Washington's Traffic Safety Summit, which was basically an opportunity for us to speak with other agencies and other cities around the state to learn about what they've been doing with safety and how they're approaching things. Here's just kind of a list of some of the sections that we attended, geared towards community engagement. Learned some pretty cool stuff about speed control from Kenmore and Kirkland, and the Washington Traffic Safety Commission themselves have a lot of initiatives around social media and education that were a shift for us. Then in August, we went to Pittsburgh for the nationwide Governor's Highway Highway Safety Association conference. So this was nationwide. Had kind of a similar opportunity to learn from other states and other agencies what they're implementing, what's working and what's not working. And the big takeaway kind of from this conference was just the use of telematic data that some other states have been utilizing to determine where people are speeding, when people are on their phones, and how to focus any kind of enforcement efforts. So just kind of the next steps for us are we're gonna hold a community meeting in October. The intention is that all 12 sectors of the community will be represented. Faith communities, media, school districts, youth organizations, healthcare, transportation industry. Ideally, between these 12 sectors, all 6 areas of the safe system approach are represented. And as soon as we have a date nailed down, we will reach out and let you guys know and invite you to attend. It'll probably be here in City Council. So that's pretty much all I had. I just kind of wanted to let you know what we've been up to, why we've been taking so much of Charlie's time. And next year is the big year where we'll actually start to do some of the work and implement some of the framework.
It looked like a big year already. Wow.
We learned a lot.
Yeah, thanks for getting together, and thanks Councilman Atkinson for participating in that. I appreciate it. So after you guys are done with a few questions, we're just going to take a 5-minute break, and then if Common Ground can stay in Mission Ridge in case somebody had a couple questions from the City Council, that'd be great. But other questions for Emma right now?
Good job, Emma.
Yeah, thanks for all your work.
All right.
All right, we'll take a
Thank you.
5-minute break.
It's gonna be a long one.
This will be cool.
You ready?
You're always,
We're back.
Always ready.
generally
November
ready.
11th is Veterans Day.
All right,
About 30 minutes each for my two
we go
agenda
to our action items.
He hasn't packed yet. He leaves at 5 a.m.
That's right, in the solid.
Oh, yeah, that's right. All right.
Ready, Mayor?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
good evening, Mayor, Council. I'm Dave Erickson, Parks and Recreation Director for the city. I've got your first two action items this evening. First one is a joint use agreement with the Wenatchee School District for facility use. So the school district and city both serve residents of the valley for both educational and recreational purposes. To help meet these needs, we both operate a variety of facilities ranging from gyms and classrooms to picnic shelters and trails. For more than 30 years, we've had a joint use facility agreement, so, we're 30 years into it, probably time to take a look at it, maybe renew it. And so that agreement allows us to both use each other's facilities, basically. The last time this agreement was updated was 1994, so working together, we prepared a new agreement that maintains both the goals and intent of the original agreement while updating all the different provisions in it to meet the kind of current standards. And so this evening, we're seeking approval of the joint use agreement to authorize me to sign it. And just to let you know, the school district did also approve it earlier this week. I'll try to answer any questions you might have.
I just had one. I read most of it, but can we actually take staff into their gym and have an event in there? Is that this kind of a use? Okay, good.
Yeah, and really, that's about the only use that we use of the school district facilities. So we've got volleyball, women's volleyball league, drop-in volleyball, and then youth basketball, which is just starting up here pretty soon. Those really are our primary
Like
purposes.
the breakfast that we're having next month, that could be possibly in a gym.
Maybe, but it's gonna be in the convention
Yeah,
center.
I don't know.
Yes, conceivably.
Yes, conceivably. With that, I'll make a motion for the city council to approve the joint use agreement with Wenatchee School District and authorize the Parks and Recs, Park Recreation and Cultural Services Director's signature.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hornby and second by Councilmember Ewer for city council to approve the joint use agreement with the Wenatchee School District and authorize the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services Director's signature. Any discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. So my second item, we have a little PowerPoint here, is also another agreement. This is interlocal agreement with the Washington State Department of Transportation. So to help understand a little bit more about this agenda item, thought I'd give you a little bit of background really quick on how we kind of got here. So as a refresher, State Route 285 runs from the north of town, through town and across the Cellar Bridge out on the south end. And we're going to talk about Cellar Bridge here in a second. So the area of this agreement is the area kind of outlined in red here, with the exception of the Burlington Northern Railroad tracks, and includes both up on top of the bridge area and then those areas down below. 2013, before the interchange was reconstructed, the city entered into an agreement with DOT, and it outlined some specifics with regard to maintenance and operations of some of the areas around the bridge. So in these two illustrations, the one on the right, you can see the green areas, that's the landscaped areas that we maintain. The illustration on the left, that identifies those areas that we are responsible for removing graffiti, and then also those areas that the DOT is responsible for. Another part of this is snow and debris removal, and then also damage. Similar, identifies those areas, kind of on the picture on the right, the blue areas, that's what we have to take care of. Those other colored areas, that's DOT's. So we have that agreement from 2013. And now we're gonna jump ahead to a couple more agreements. These are in 2022. So in 2022, the state got some pass-through money that was dedicated for right-of-way cleanup. And so it's all you can use it for is for cleaning up right-of-ways. And so we entered into an agreement with them. It was $150,000 back then. In 2023, entered into a second agreement for $200,000 because it went so well. And basically, we can cover the costs of some of our costs. So that's staff time, equipment use,
supplies that we purchased, disposal costs, and we track where we clean these items up from very specifically, and then also the quantities. So how much garbage, how much stuff are we cleaning up? And then we have to submit billings to DOT, and that's just a sample of some of the documentation that we're required to do. A few examples of some of the stuff that we've cleaned up, just for you to take a look at. This is pretty typical. So our guys go down and we clean up the area around the bridge every single day. Sometimes we're there more than once a day. And this is typical to what we find down there. In 2024, we removed over 500,000 pounds of garbage just from the Cellar Bridge, not including all the other parks, at a cost of a little over $209,000 to take care of that. The disposal cost alone was over $43,000 just to pay for the dumping, not the collection of it and getting rid of it. So earlier this year, when we were getting towards the end of that agreement, we reached out to DOT and said, hey, do you guys have any more money coming up? And they said, no, that program is going away. We have no more money for that program. So then all of those costs would then fall on the city to continue to maintain. Well, earlier this month, we got a great phone call from DOT saying, hey, we have $100,000 that was allocated to that program. Would you be interested in redoing that agreement? And I said, yes, please sign us up. And so this evening then, we have in front of you an agreement, and we're requesting authorization to sign an agreement with the DOT to help pay for some additional cleanup costs. Help cover a little bit of our costs. That was cleaned up last Thursday, and that's a picture from Tuesday. And it doesn't even do justice because around each rock there's rats and there's garbage and human waste and other kinds of fun stuff that we had our guys go and clean it up yesterday afternoon. So
I've been down there and it's disgusting.
Well, thanks for getting some money for us. It helps our general budget, so appreciate that.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion for City Council to approve the interlocal agreement with Washington State Department of Transportation.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Ewer and second by Councilmember Harold for City Council to approve the interlocal agreement with Washington State Department of Transportation. Any discussion or comments?
I just have one. What's the sustainability of this? I know you maybe don't have an answer, but long-term?
yeah, so we're, from a proactive side of things, we're looking at all the environmental design things that we can do to help mitigate some of the issues that we're having down there. And then we also have the homeless program, policing, that are working on the other human side of things.
Yeah.
We're kind of the last end, last end of the line. So we're doing what we can to mitigate what we can do.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
You.
Wastewater treatment plant. Supervisor.
You got this, Dave?
You got it.
Thanks for.
Good evening, council, mayor. Mike Hodgson, the wastewater treatment plant supervisor, City of Wenatchee. I'm coming before the council tonight to make a motion to award the contract of the south viewing area for the lowest responsible bidder, which is TMC Contractors. Their bid was $445,000. The budget's $450,000. The engineer's estimate, $450,000. We received two bids. The second one was extremely higher. This project was approved for the capital improvement projects back in 25, early 25, 24 to 25. It's totally funded by the 405 sewer fund. This project is in combination with two emergency projects that we had the unfortunate disasters. One was the 36-inch primary effluent line at the treatment plant, which basically destroyed the south viewing area. And then we comboed that up with the school district building on Old Station with the force main failure earlier this year. So we're getting both sides cleaned up on this. The project will start this fall, weather depending. Goal is to finish it in 25. I have a hunch it'll go to 26. That's all I got, guys.
Thanks, Mike. You've been busy. Your Honor, I'll make a motion for City Council to award the construction contract for the wastewater treatment plant South Viewing Area Project 2402 to the lowest responsive bidder, TMC Contractors LLC, and authorize mayor's signature on the contract documents.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hornby and second by Councilmember Cuevas for City Council award the construction contract for the wastewater treatment plant South Viewing Area Project number 2402 to the lowest responsive bidder, TMC Contractors LLC, and authorize the mayor to sign the contract documents. Any other discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion carries.
Good evening, council. I'm Jesse King, project engineer. I'm here before you to ask the city council to award the construction contract for the 2025 damaged luminaire replacement project, city project number SW25-01, to the lowest responsive bidder and authorize the mayor to sign the contract documents. This project was originally advertised June 30th. Earlier this year, we got 9 bids. There was a lot of errors in those bids. So we recommended city council reject all bids and re-advertise. It was re-advertised on August 21st. 6 bids were received on September 11th. The lowest responsive bid was KRCI in the amount of $155,960. So just asking you guys to.
Less errors on the second round out?
Sure.
What do you do? I mean, when there's errors, do you just call each contractor, say, hey, you guys forgot this, forgot that, or how does that work?
Yeah, I reached out to them and talked to them and
Yeah,
talked through their options and we found a way to move forward. So,
perfect. Okay, thanks, Jesse.
yeah.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion for City Council to award the construction contract for the 2025 damaged luminaire replacement project, city project number SW25-01, to the lowest responsive bidder and authorize the mayor to sign the contract documents.
Second.
You did, okay. We have a motion by Councilmember Osteen and a second by Councilmember Hornby for City Council award a construction contract for the 2025 damaged luminaire replacement project, city project number SW25-01 to the lowest responsive bidder and authorize the mayor to sign the contract documents. Any discussion or comments? I'm just curious, like, when we got the errors the first time, then we rebid it, how much extra time does that take from you? I mean, is it like
It took a couple days.
a couple days,
Yeah, and I worked with Natalie Ann, so it took some of her time.
some of her time? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
so it does take some extra administrative time on our side.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jesse. Kelsey, are you sponsoring any hockey players this year?
Yes, we have
Okay.
2.
And how many years have you done that?
This is our 5th full season.
5th full season.
Yep.
Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Kelsey Grover. I am the stormwater technician. And this evening, I have a motion for City Council to approve the Department of Ecology Water Quality Combined Financial Assistance Agreement for Water Quality Facility Education and Outreach.
That's a mouthful.
That is a lot. I noticed I didn't give you the whole agreement number because that would be a lot harder to pronounce. But a little background on this agreement and how we got here.
In 2023, the Wenatchee Valley Stormwater Technical Advisory Committee completed an effectiveness study to evaluate one of our stormwater programs. And that program was the operations and maintenance agreement that goes on properties that have a permanent stormwater facility. So this is developments that at this time are 1 acre or larger. So we're talking, in most cases, residential housing developments that have things like ponds, swales, infiltration trenches, things like that. So we did a survey of all of those residents and we were asking them questions. How much do they know about it? What do they know about it? That it's their responsibility, that they own it. And we got some pretty good answers and we learned a lot about what our residents actually know. And overwhelmingly, we learned that people knew what it was. They drive by it, they see it, they either have concerns about it, maybe it's not very aesthetically pleasing, maybe they have flooding concerns, but they know something about it. But what they didn't know was their potential ownership responsibility. So whether it be an HOA, a private property owner, something like that. So towards the end of 2024, we applied for this grant with the Department of Ecology for some funding to build some sort of a database or education and outreach for a sole resource for homeowners and property owners to tell them about these facilities. So this grant is going to be intended to build a GIS-based database where people can go in, click on the map, it'll tell them who owns it, and and include some information about the facility. So like a fact sheet, and we'll be working with the designer to develop this fact sheet in some plain language, so it's not as high-level stormwater. It'll be things that are pretty easy to understand so people can see what's wrong with it, some maintenance requirements, things like that. And we're going to be working with the regional stormwater partners to do this. And so we'll kind of have a copy of each database. So it'll look and feel the same. And we'll be looking at working with all property owners that have these stormwater facilities. And as part of this, we're going to be also working with someone to help us put together these fact sheets that'll be on these properties and on these stormwater facilities. So it'll be a one-stop resource for not only property owners, but real estate agents and others who may be spreading this information about these stormwater facilities. So the great thing about this grant is that it is an $80,000 grant being provided in full by the Department of Ecology, and it does not require a match from us. So I am just asking for the mayor's signature on this agreement so we can continue to move forward.
I just have one question. Is this for residential only or commercial?
We are going to be, our initial survey was residential only, but just because it is something that's being required on so many different properties, we are going to expand it to commercial also, so that especially as people buying and selling properties, it can be a resource for real estate agents as well, so that they can help pass that information on to prospective buyers.
Wonderful.
So when you look up Chelan County Assessor, right, parcel search, and you hit something, and I can find everything about, help describe this for me, sorry.
So we're looking at it being a little bit more, because the operations and maintenance agreement, if you've ever looked at one, they're not very friendly. They can be pretty long, they're really high level engineering, a lot of times engineering stormwater speak. So our idea is to make this look a little more like a GIS map. So when we open it up, you'll see like the development and maybe a bigger shape that says, this is my address and this is the stormwater facility, and click on it and be able to see right there. Because the hard part about those O&M agreements and the assessor's website is it may not necessarily look like your property is associated with it, because you may not live directly next to the facility. You may be several houses down, or it may be underground, so you may not know it's there either.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion for City Council to approve the Department of Ecology Water Quality Combined Financial Assistance Agreement for Water Quality Facility Education and Outreach.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Navarro Gomez and second by Councilmember Harold for City Council to approve the Department of Ecology Water Quality Combined Financial Assistance Agreement for Water Quality Facility Education and Outreach. Any other discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Alyssa Schaefer, Facilities Manager for the Public Works Department. The motion before you tonight is the approval of amendment number 4 to the professional services agreement with Hargis Engineers for additional engineering support related to the Clean Building Performance Standard compliance requirements. The Clean Building Performance Standard was established by the 2019 Clean Buildings Act as a state mandate aimed at reducing energy costs and pollution from the state's existing buildings. This initiative currently targets buildings larger than 20,000 square feet, which includes 4 in our inventory. We have been working on the state's requirements for almost 2 years with our qualified engineer, our qualified energy manager, Hargis Engineers, who has conducted building benchmark analysis, energy audits, and other related deliverables, mostly funded by a grant from the Washington State Department of Commerce. Recently, we received an additional grant, so this is the second grant, for further engineering support services, bringing us closer to our final deliverables. The work will bring Hargis's contract over $100,000, thus my presence, and will fulfill the city's compliance requirements for the first deadline with the Department of Commerce. Are there any questions?
So did they extend the date, or is that for a
They
different?
did.
Okay, I just happened to read something this morning about
Yes.
this. Okay, and you said this is another grant?
This is the second grant, so.
So how are you getting, this is a compliment to you, because you're getting the grant, the PFD, Town Toyota Center, is not getting a grant. The school district had trouble getting a grant. So are you just really good, or what's going on? I mean, I'm being honest, because it's interesting, every other committee I'm going to, sorry, we can't get it. I've talked to other mayors in other cities like Auburn, and they're not getting these grants, and somehow you came through it too.
I think that we were
yeah.
well positioned to make a request. We had our qualified energy manager ready to go deliver the tasks that were before them. The timing for the grant opportunity was very quick turnaround. So we received the grant. This grant was issued in June. All the deliverables need to be complete by December. So they have to be project ready, and that was possibly a struggle that other entities were faced against.
What a compliment to you. Seriously, you wouldn't believe, talked to 10 different mayors, I was at a conference, and nobody's getting this. So I blows me away. So anyway, congratulations, thanks for saving the city a bunch of money, because I know this is a mandate. So, a little passionate about it when you do, so, yeah, you're just impressive, so.
Well, with that, I'll make a motion for the city council to approve amendment number 4 to the professional services agreement with Hargis Engineers, Inc. for additional engineering support regarding the Clean Building Performance Standard compliance requirements, and authorize the mayor's signature.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Atkinson, second by Councilmember Ewer for City Council to approve amendment number 4 to the professional services agreement with Hargis Engineers Incorporated for additional engineering support regarding the Clean Building Performance Standards compliance requirements, and authorize the mayor's signature. Any other discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
The 4 buildings.
Oh, what are the 4 buildings?
Melissa?
What are the 4 buildings?
City Hall, Convention Center.
The Wenatchee City Hall, Wenatchee Convention Center,
Oh.
the police department is
Yeah, I
a
think
tier
it is.
2 building, and Parkside is a tier 2 building.
Okay,
And
that's-
interesting enough, Parkside was the only building that met compliance through benchmark. So we didn't have to go through the audit or the other O&M and energy management plan for that building. So we
Yay.
Got it.
chalk that up as a win.
All right, thank you. That's what we always do. When people leave, we ask the questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kidding. You're not done.
A couple of you weren't here when I'm changing the mayor's report. I'll bring it to the directors, and they're just gonna talk about a couple things what we both participated in. the past week. I'm asking Brad and Tom and Elizabeth, they're going to say just a minute or so of what we're doing.
All right, well, I'll jump in. We've been working on the 2026 budget already. Today, the directors were able to come to Finance Committee and present some of their budget needs for 2026. And so Finance Committee is going to provide some feedback on that. And then the mayor and I've got a lot of work to do on it. We will, by law, we'll get the proposed preliminary budget out to the council and the public on October 1st. And then at the October 9th council meeting, we'll review where we're at in the budget process. And just a spoiler alert, the budget's going to be very tight this year. Our mantra is quickly turning into maintain service levels. We're not proposing to reduce any service levels, but we're also not going to be in the position to enhance our service levels either. So maintain is what we're shooting for.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brett. Good evening, Council. Mayor Poirier. Just a quick update. Mayor Poirier, Jake, and I attended the Washington State Transportation Commission meeting last week. It was held in Wenatchee. So this is a great opportunity to showcase some city projects. Jake and I attended a project tour and had a couple speaking points. So not only we were able to showcase some projects with the commission, but also with partner agencies and some of our community partners as well. And we were able to share some successes, and of course, we highlighted our transportation challenges as well. Big shout out to Jake. He had the primary speaking points on the presentation, and I do want to thank Wenatchee Valley Fire Chief Brian Brett. He presented with us as well, really highlighting the need on Confluence Parkway from an emergency management standpoint. So, and the commission was very thankful for that work. So, thank you.
Good evening. So October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. So in October, we'll be kicking off our annual training that's required for all staff. This is in an ongoing effort to help secure and reduce risk to city data and resident data as well. So we have a number of events going on next month for staff around that. We're also focusing on training related to a new policy and an updated policy that you recently approved. So we'll be doing some AI training for staff and some mandatory email management training focused on those policies. Also, the Department of Justice is implementing some new ADA rules that we must comply with as a city under 50,000 residents by April of 2027. So we're just kind of gearing up, working with website posters to start working on that and bringing those pages into compliance and reach the level that we need to be on. So it's an effort we're moving forward with now. So we have plenty of time to hopefully get there by the time that that is due. So.
Thank you all. Appreciate it. Linda, you want to go down the line here?
I was on vacation last week, so I don't have anything to tell you.
Right.
I attended the oath of office ceremony for our police department. It was an honor to be there present, to see our four new officers.
I attended the Downtown Possibilities Conference today, which was fantastic. There was a really great panel of community development, city staff that did some education on kind of the process of permitting and building within the city, which was really, really great. And then Stephen Neuenschwander and Chrissy Scholl presented on our Building Development Advisory Committee project. We launched our survey. It was fantastic. And Travis presented. He did a great job in one of his breakout sessions.
Take
Sorry.
my thunder, too.
He did great.
Nothing new.
You going to represent us well? You're leaving tomorrow.
I'll have him keep me in line, so.
Oh, yeah,
that'll
have him
be
keep
fun.
me in line.
Okay.
We're leaving tomorrow morning. We're super excited for Masawa. Yeah.
I had a busy couple of weeks. Participated in a possibilities tour down at the convention center. I presented on landlord-tenant leases with Ron Bershauer, former owner of Jerry Auto Supply. So now he is basically a landlord. So I gave the perspective of tenants, he gave the perspective of the landlords. That was fun. Looks like we're partnering with the city and the downtown association to keep the fit and finish of our plants in the downtown core going for the next foreseeable future, so that's kind of exciting. Also, Link Transit, we're working on 2026 budget, and our electric buses should be rolling in really soon, and the new electric bus barn, which is massive, we'll get ready to accept those when they get here. Oh, one more thing on the Link thing, sorry. Jose over here was granted an award, and I got to clap for him because I sit on that, and he was able to save a 2-year-old child from, I don't know, craziness. So thank you for taking that effort and stopping and picking up that child that was running loose. He escaped. They're escape artists. So can you kind of tell us a little bit about the story, please?
I'll make it really quick. As I was driving up Terminal Street on the bus, I saw a little boy under 2 years old just walking down the street alone. And as a driver, and as a father, that hit me really hard. And I said, no, this is not right. This is not right. I pulled over. I tried to block the road so no other vehicles can come by, because vehicles come down pretty fast. And I picked up the child, I put him inside the bus. I called dispatch for a supervisor or law enforcement. And I wasn't going to move the bus until I see the mom or the dad of the child. I had other people come in, and they said they knew the child, and I said no, and I cannot turn him into you until I see the real mom, because that could be kidnapping or something. It was an honor to pick up this kid. I mean, I would be happy for anybody to pick up my kids if that ever had happened. I'm a human being, man. I just want to see kids be home safely and in their
you were there
surroundings.
in that
And
time.
yes,
Good
I don't know.
job.
Thank you, guys.
The world's a better place because of you.
Thank you,
Good
Linda.
job.
Thank you. I'm honored. Thank you.
I'm done.
You sure?
Yep.
Good job, Josh. Sure.
Thank you, Thank you,
That
Travis.
was a really
and
good one.
Thank you, Travis, and the board of directors.
I was at yesterday's meeting of the Chelan Douglas County Homeless Task Force. I left out a couple of words there. And they approved their 5-year strategic plan. And also, we saw a presentation from the YWCA regarding their project to build a new building that will expand their different forms of housing that they offer there. Permanent supportive housing and emergency shelter and transitional housing. And the task force approved financial support for that effort. Both of those things have to be approved by the county commissioners though, so, but that's where that is. I also attended that session in the afternoon last week that Tom was talking about, and it was fantastic. Yeah, you guys did a great job, so.
Okay. Well, I am happy to say that we have 12 applicants for junior city council. So Jose, Charlie, and myself have the great honor of reviewing those, and we will meet on Monday to see what wonderful candidates get to join our first ever junior city council. Attended the Fiestas Mexicanas. I got to talk to a lot of families, ask them what they enjoy the most about their community, and I got lots of positive feedback. So I was really happy to hear just the climate and culture of our community is very healthy. I got a couple comments about people not using the flags appropriately and stopping for pedestrians when they're crossing the road, especially like in Triangle Park. I actually got to talk to the owner of one of the houses, not the one that was ran into a couple months ago, but she says she looks out from her window every day and she prays because she sees kids trying to cross and cars not stopping. And I said, do you think police supervision? She's like, no, because when they see police officers, they all stop. So, you know, it was just great to interact with people and hear what their concerns are for our community. Also attended the Wenatchee the Climate Policy Advisory Team had their last meeting last week, and essentially, this is going to come to us at the city council level. They're just looking at what are our current policies, what are we currently doing, to really ensure that our community is growing, but also acknowledging climate needs. So one of the biggest one, believe it or not, was fire safety, and how can we better prepare all of our community to understand what things they should do to prepare for fire issues like these, and also health, asthma, and other side effects of these climate changes. So that is it for me.
Everybody's been busy.
Peace. Is that what you said?
Let's see, our attorney's favorite thing. What else? Oh, Health District, top, are you, unless, we need to get back to the Health District regarding our board member. Are you interested in that?
I can do it
you
because
seem
it
like
works
the
on
natural.
a day that I can do it, but we're gonna figure out all the other committees later.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess,
just,
right?
all we would do is,
Yes.
if everybody's kind of okay with it, and then we just send it over to the Chelan Douglas, and then they vet you.
Okay.
And then basically it'd be appointed for January 1st.
All right.
You good?
I'm good.
Everybody good? He seems like the most
I
qualified.
did it for
I
a
think.
minute before they
Changed
changed it.
All right, now can we adjourn if somebody says
Your
something?
Honor, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Safe
Second.
travels,
First.
Tops and Travis.
Yes, first and second, all those in favor?
Aye.